Harihi Om. Hello, greetings. Sai Ram, Vanakkam, Namaskar, Vandhanam, Assalamu Alaikum, and Shat Shri Akal. Nice to see all of you again for another session on reflections. And this week we are looking at a word called sensibility. Sensibility, if you ask or if you think about it, it's a word that has been used rampantly and, in my humble opinion, in a very lax attitude without really thinking or fully appreciating its true scope or depth. What is the meaning of this word, sensibility, right? It's perhaps the quality of being able to appreciate and respond to complex emotional or aesthetic influences, sensibility, sensitivity. How sensitive are you towards things around you? And things around you means people, and objects, animate and inanimate, right? So what does that mean? In other words, if I could give you other words that is synonymous to the word sensibility, what would it be? Feelings, emotions, susceptibility, sensitivity, sentiment, finer feeling, or a delicate approach to something, a moral sense, a moral compass, if you like. If I gave you perhaps the opposite of what sensibility is, then perhaps you might get a better understanding of it. For example, insensitivity, unperceptiveness, apathy, dislike, hate, disinterest. It could even mean ignorance, right? And there are many words to show you what sensitivity should not be, or words that are similar and what it should be. In other words, sensibility simply means the ability to sense, the ability to feel, the ability to perceive, especially to be sensitive to the feelings of other people or another person, right? It is perhaps from a spiritual perspective, right? An acute awareness which is constant. Okay, so an acute awareness which is constant. Now, let me tell you a story called The Seven Wonders of the World, right? So this happened in a classroom in an American school, right? So the children were asked to list what they thought were the present seven wonders of the world, right? And, school children being school children, there was a lot of disagreements. I mean, this was pre-university sort of class, high school category. There are lots of disagreements, but most of them gave the common response of the Great Pyramids, the Taj Mahal, the Grand Canyon, the canals, Empire State Building, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and of course the Great Wall of China. So while gathering the responses from the students in the class, the teacher noted that one student had not finished her paper yet. So she went and asked the girl, are you okay? I mean, are you having any trouble identifying the seven wonders of the world? And the girl said, yes, ma'am, a little. I couldn't quite make up my mind because there were so many. So the teacher said, well, tell us what you have, and then maybe we can all help as a class. The girl hesitated. And then after a while, she said, okay, I think the seven wonders of the world are to see, number one, to hear, number two, to touch, number three, to taste, number four, to feel, number five, to love, number six. And then she waited for a minute. And everybody said, what's the seventh one? To love. And there was complete silence in the room, pin drop silence. And then everybody just started to clap, because no one had shown such sensibility as that girl did. The things we overlook sometimes in life as simple and as an ordinary that we take for granted, are truly wondrous. So it's a gentle reminder, the most precious things in life cannot be built by hand or bought with money. This is what sensibility means, to rise above the norm and be the exception. In other words, if you ask me, right, I will say emotional intelligence equals sensibility. And sensibility equals emotional intelligence. Knowing what to say at the right time to say, in the right context, at the right place. That is sensibility. George Bernard Shaw, it's one of my favorite sayings, right? George Bernard Shaw said, university can teach you all the skill and can give you opportunities, but it cannot teach you sense, nor can it give you understanding. It goes on to say, sensibility and understanding are produced within one's soul. What a great saying. What is sensibility? To be humble in your confidence, yet courageous in your character. And someone once asked Jane Austen, the famous Jane Austen, one of her novels was Sense and Sensibility. So they asked her, what is your definition of sensibility? And she said, right, well, it isn't what we say or think that defines us, but what we do. And that is sensibility. And one of my favorite quotes is that of Rumi, Rumi, the great spiritualist, right? He says, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wiser, so I am changing myself. That is sensibility. Until I see you all next Thursday, stay blessed.